All right, Coach. Defensively, you played well enough to win the basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a tough night shooting the
Yeah.
ball, and that was really the difference when you look at it.
It was. We gave ourselves a chance with our defense tonight against a really good team. We turned them over. We capitalized off their turnovers. You know, just some simple things that we got to clean up. We got to make our free throws. That's simple. And, you know, we got to continue to take those shots and make them with confidence. And tonight, an off night scoring for us.
It's hard to tell. Zion missed 2 months. He looked pretty good, had a lot of spring out there, and not only did he score the basketball, but what he was doing defensively. That stretch at the beginning of the third quarter with he and Dejounte, that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. It was great to see him on the floor. A little bit of rust, which is to be expected, but he was tremendous. His gravity allows guys to get open shots, and he'll continue to get better from here.
Dejounte, he's got his shot kind of falling now.
Yeah.
What do you kind of like about what you're saying from him?
Number one, his defense. He was incredible with his ability to turn guys over, get steals, get in the passing lane. So it started with that, and then that triggered everything for him, getting easy baskets. The rim opened up for him. He knocked down shots that we know he's capable of knocking down, and it was good to see him have a really good rhythm game offensively.
Yeah, in the past when we've kind of talked about Z coming back from injuries, it's always been like those first few games he's kind of finding it, and then he kind of starts looking like himself. How impressive was it just to see how explosive, how fast he looked out there in his first game back?
It's incredible, his ability to impact the basketball game when he's on the floor. And he had a little bit of rust, but that's as good as I've seen him, you know, after being out for as long as he's been out. And it's credit. It's a credit to Bove. It's a credit to Coach Aaron Miles. And you know, the most important person is in credit to Zion, the work that he's been putting in to get himself ready to get on the floor and compete with his teammates.
And we saw a little bit of this from him at the end of last season, but how nice was it to see him and Dejounte during that third quarter where they just started attacking ball handlers and creating steals and getting some easy opportunities on the other end.
That was a fun segment, just seeing those guys, you know, climbing the guys defensively, create havoc, get steals, and then go attack the basket like they did. And that's a small sample size of what this team is capable of, and now we got to try to string together more games like that and put together some wins.
And moving forward, you know, how important is it going to be to keep Z on the floor, and what steps do you guys take to make sure, you know, he can stay healthy and stay, you know, doing some of these things that he did tonight?
It's extremely important, and those are, you know, our medical team performance. You know, they're working diligently along with Zion and the whole staff to continue to do everything that we can on our part to make sure he has all the resources to be healthy.
Obviously, it's been a tough year from, you know, a health perspective for you guys, especially the last few months. But now, I mean, being as close to as what it seems like it's been, you know, all season, to have him back and have him kind of looking so good early on. I mean, do you think that's kind of, you know, symbolic, and is it kind of like a weight lift off your guys' shoulders a little bit? Be like, okay, now we're kind of finally healthy and things are meshing a little bit?
Yeah, it's definitely a confidence booster for our group. Coming off the 2 wins and then to get Z back, and then, you know, go against a really good Minnesota team tonight and you know, go toe to toe with them. So that's again momentum that we can build off of. Now there's some things we need to improve on, but getting Z back and for the most part trying to get all of our guys and get healthy is extremely important for us to try to, you know, gain some momentum and get some wins under our belt.
To have those guys on the floor and allow Dejounte to play off ball more tonight. You know, you saw his turnovers down tonight. You saw his offensive production as a scorer go up. How important is it to have that flexibility to not have him on the ball for 38, 40 minutes, to give him those opportunities to be a little bit more free in his decision making, or not to decide and just get to score?
I think that is one of the reasons we saw just his energy on both ends of the floor go up. You know, you had another, you know, prime time ball handler, gravity puller with the amount of, you know, eyes that are on him when he has the ball. Zion, it allows Dejounte to be off the ball some, and he's getting open looks. He's getting drives to the basket, And so he's getting a little mix of both. And, before we had him on the ball a lot more. And tonight, it was really good to see him mix it up.
And tonight, a season high in transition points. Converting in transition had been a big problem for this team. Why, besides having Zion and Dejounte out there running the floor, why was the transition so effective tonight?
Well, it's capitalizing on their turnovers. They had 17 turnovers. We had 28 points off their turnovers. So it's something that we've identified that we're doing well this season. We try to watch it and work on it when we get on the floor. And it's good to see our guys having carryover into games of turning teams over and then going out and trying to play as fast as we can in transition and getting easy baskets.
CJ struggled a little bit from the floor tonight, but just kind of what went into your decision to get close with Jose there at the end?
He's been awesome. He's been fantastic the last 5 to 7 games. I thought he got a little fatigue, and to try to give us a boost to finish the game, I decided to go with Jose.
And just what do you make of the challenge that Eve had tonight with Gobert in that front court?
Learning experiences for him. Gobert is another all defensive center and all-star, and we're challenging Eve to go after these guys night in and night out. He's been doing a good job, but it's a huge learning experience for him, and it'll pay off for him in the long run.
And I know sometimes in the past you've sometimes gone with maybe a smaller look to close games against teams like that. Just how much of tonight is just trust in the process with Eve? You may not be having your best game, but we want to see you out there. We want to see how this group works. We want to see how all these parts fit together.
Yes, I think he's earned the trust of the entire group, and he's got to continue to do it. And he's been doing a great job thus far. We're doing a lot at a 20-year-old rookie center, and he's been handling it all with grace. He goes out and competes. He gives you everything that he has, and he's been a huge bright spot on this team. And it is. It's about us continuing to trust him, even on nights when it might not be his best night offensively, defensively. Allowing him to play through some of those mistakes is going to help us in the long run.
Zion played just a hair under 28 minutes. Was that the target for tonight, roughly that ballpark?
Roughly.
And will that give him an opportunity to play tomorrow? Do you have any idea, Willie?
I don't have an update on tomorrow as of right now, and like I said, as soon as we know something, we'll give you guys an update for sure. Okay, thank you.
Have a good night.
Dejounte, season high and points for you tonight. What was key to just to get yourself going offensively?
I mean, we lost, man. I don't focus on that. I don't play for stats. I try to play the game the right way. Obviously, my shots are starting to fall more. Just being aggressive. I think I'm always aggressive. Obviously could take better shots just in general, not today's game, but in general. But I don't play for stats. I'm here to win, and if that takes me scoring 12 points and the next guy scoring 20, 30, whatever, I'm with that. I just want to win games.
Like you said, obviously not the result you wanted, but what was it like just getting to play a full game with Z and just seeing how y'all can feed off each other?
I mean, it was good. I'm glad he played with the confidence and the joy, especially after his dunk. You could just see the joy and just knowing what he goes through, what he been through. I was happy for him. Just that's what him, have fun, be patient, just go play your game, and we all together through the ups and downs. We're together, so, it was great to play with him.
In particular, that was that stretch in the third quarter when you and him just started attacking ball handlers, creating some steals. Just what was that like, just seeing, how y'all can work together and really, wreak havoc in that way?
I mean, I think I proved that's what I do, so I think he's rubbing off on him. So, he was being active, and that was great to see.
Tonight, creating opportunities in transition was huge for you guys. Season high in points in transition. And turning points off of turnovers had been a problem for this team. What tonight allowed you to have that success in transition, and how was it for you also getting the opportunity to play off the ball where you've been so ball dominant for this team throughout the season? I
think we was just solid more than usual. And obviously Z's gonna have the ball, so, it helps for not just myself, the team, and, just what he's going to cause of guys just running at him and coming at him and getting us open looks. And even in transition, I tell all my teammates, if you're closer to the ball, I'm going to run, or tell me to get out of the way, whatever. I think we just got to continue to learn how to play with each other, man. You check this season out, and it's just like we haven't really got to play with each other, just being healthy. So, it's tough, no excuses. Like I always say, next man up mentality. But, I think we were solid. Besides, I think a run they went on, and we just couldn't really recover. But I think we were solid overall.
Kind of going off that, I mean, based on the eye test, you wouldn't have thought that it was your first game playing together, obviously, especially in a couple of certain stretches there too. Do you think that the two of y'all, in terms of like your cohesion, was like a little bit more ahead of schedule than you thought it would be in game? And
I'm going to try to answer your question. I hope I do. But, me, I love the game, and I try to understand, my teammates, where they like the ball. And, I watch them on defense and try to help and always being a sponge for them to, also tell me things and help me. So, and specifically with Z, he talks more than people say he doesn't or does. He talks, just in the locker room. He's speaking up on things for himself, for the team. And, I think it just gets better. Obviously we're happy for him just to be back and be able to play. Obviously we didn't win the game, so, it's tough to talk about, this and that. But it was great to go out and compete.
Just on a similar note, not just Z, but just kind of now it's going to be another 5-man group, starting from the guys are going to be helping move forward. Just, I know you said you like to study your teammates and work with them. What's going to be the challenge is, almost halfway through the season, just kind of figuring out how to play all together?
I mean, I always say, play for your teammates, play for each other. That's the best basketball. That's the winning teams on all levels when you play for each other and you're not playing for individual stats or goals. You're just playing for team first, and then all the other stuff after that. It allows you and everybody else to be successful. So, it allows a team to be successful, and I feel like that's the best way to play, and it's fun. When you play for each other and I want success for you, you want success for me, it allows us to play defense, have fun, connect, and the chemistry just continue to grow. So I think, at the end of the day, we just continue to show up to work and get better, and we're able to compete against other teams, go out and, try to win basketball games. It's not over till it's over. This is our job. We're going to continue to show up to practice and games and continue to try to figure this thing out. That's what it sums up to. You got to figure it out and execute for 48 minutes.
Dejounte, I know you've played a lot of basketball in your career. You've played alongside a lot of good teammates. What was it like playing next to Zion? Were you impressed by anything in particular? What stood out about him tonight? Let's be on the floor with him.
His win, I think, was good, and that was important. You know, I pay attention to all the little things. You know, the dunk was crazy. You know, just knowing how long he's been out and to see that he could still do that. I think that's just a testament to the work he's put in, you know, to recover and come back to be able to play with his teammates. You know, but the thing that stood out for me, like I said, was, you know, just his win. And like I tell him, continue to attack rehab, you know, tomorrow. Today he's attacking it. Tomorrow you attack it every single day. You know, take care of your body, and it just allows you to be available. You know, the best ability is availability. And I think for him, everybody knows that's the thing. And he wants to play. He wants to be available. So, you know, the sky's the limit if, you know, he's available, you know. Just continue to take care. We got to take care of.
Dejounte, did you guys just play off of each other tonight, or did you really strictly adhere to what the coach said, or did you guys talk amongst yourselves, maybe even before the game, on what you wanted to do at certain points in this game?
I mean, I know I'm always talking to all my teammates. You know, I'm always talking, seeing what they see, trying to make their lives easier. They're talking to me. I make sure dudes know that they could talk to me, where they could be the rookie not getting in the game. You know, I make sure he knows in practice, shoot-arounds, games, film, like, you could talk to me. That's the only way we're going to allow each other to get better, is when we could come at each other, whether it's good or bad, and know that we all want the same thing, which is to get better and win games. So we just got to continue that.
Do you think that's something you've gotten more comfortable with over time, just getting more comfortable with your teammates speaking up?
Say that again?
Do you think that's something you got more comfortable with over time as you got more comfortable with your teammates just speaking up during games? There was a few moments in this one where you were coaching up Eve, telling them to cut and stuff like that. Is that kind of stuff you're doing more now that you're kind of been around these guys more?
I think as soon as I walked in, you know, I lead by example. Like, and when I say that, it's just my work, my professionalism. I make sure I'm on time, I'm not late. You know, just doing everything I got to do, from training tables to the weight room to the courts. And, you know, I think that speaks volumes. And not even just speaking for myself. I know if I was looking at a guy and he's doing everything he's supposed to do and, you know, just available, and, you know, it motivates you, and it just shows you what it is if you're one of those young guys trying to figure this thing out. Because I was a young guy, and, you know, I was blessed to have all them great veterans to show me the way. So, you know, for me, it's just a thing that I've always had, even outside of basketball. So, you know, the moment I walked in, it wasn't like, oh, I'm the guy, I'm the leader, I'm this, I'm that. I was just being myself. And that's who I am today, right now, just being myself.
How's the elbow?
It's doing all right. Yeah, it's doing all right. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's going on, Z? How did it feel just to be back out there and get to play again?
Felt great to be back out there with my teammates and, to be able to play in front of our fans.
And just, in previous comebacks for you, we've talked about how, needing a few games to kind of get your rhythm, get your feet under you. Did it kind of feel like in this one you were able to have that explosion, have that force that you're used to playing with?
Absolutely. I definitely feel like my legs are already under me. Now it's just in-game rhythm, but don't got time to take 3 to 5 games for that. I'm just going to figure it out as quick as possible.
And for you, you talked about this early in the season, but what's the key for you just staying on the court, making sure you can, address some of the things that kept you off the court in the past and making sure you can kind of build on this?
Just keep learning more and more about my body, how my body reacts to certain things, working with the team, and, just talking it through.
Certainly, you don't want to come back and have a loss, especially when the team had won a couple of games. But what do you feel like for yourself this first game back? What did you learn about yourself and your teammates, getting to be on the floor with them and to be in a competitive situation again after so many weeks away?
It was definitely good to be back out there, and it was just good to see my teammates, competing. The Timberwolves started off hot, but nobody was really bothered by it. Everybody was like, "Nah, we good. Just stick to what we do." And as far as us losing the game, it's just X's and O's throughout the game that we just got to be better at. No excuse for it. Just got to be better at it.
There's been so many conversations while you were out about you, about status of the team, about all these things.
What were they saying about me?
About whether or not you were up for trades, whether or not, how you were attacking rehab, all those things.
What do you think about that?
What do I think about?
Like what they were saying? What were they saying? Like what they were saying about me?
If you're talking about trade speculation, I would say I think
It's whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, I would say it was premature. I said we hadn't seen what you could do this year with this group. That's what I think we're all at the point, considering where the record is now. That's the main thing the rest of the way is to see how you're doing and what your future is in New Orleans.
I respect that honesty. My fault. I cut you off. Keep going.
Hey, you asked.
Nah, I respect the honesty. At the end of the day, you control the things you can control and accept the things you can't. As a professional, only thing I can do is come into work every day, work hard, and have fun. At the end of the day, get to play basketball for a living. I love hooping. So, me and Dejounte talk about it a lot, not taking this for granted. So, just have fun and work hard.
Dejounte said you did attack the rehab, and that's something that a lot of guys said, that you had attacked rehab. Do you feel like in this year, and you've been through rehab so many times in your short career at this point, do you feel like you approached it differently this time? Do you feel like you're in a different place? Because we talked about this before the season. That's the same thing. Did you feel like now you could focus on things better, that you were more mature in how you approach basketball? Did you see that for yourself during this time away? And did you notice for yourself, hey, I'm different. I'm not the rookie I was. I'm a professional basketball player now.
Just part of growing up. Like I said, just being a professional. And as far as this rehab, me and the Pels, we worked really hard during this rehab. The focus I had during this rehab was a bit more extreme. That's why, like I said, my legs are already under me. I feel like I didn't even miss a beat, but gained a beat. And now it's just, I don't have to worry about trying to find the rhythm. Like I said, over the course of 3 to 5 games, just kind of there and figure out those X's and O's and just learn from it. And hopefully win some games off it.
Do you think that, the rehab was more extreme and you feel like your legs are more under you now? Do you think the fact that you've attacked it in the past and you're kind of more conditioned to attacking rehab has kind of helped you be able to attack it as quote-unquote extreme, as you said?
The past rehabs, even though I had re-aggravation in one of them, they were good, but this one was, we just found different ways to work and not just kind of be stagnant. Even before I was running, the conditioning that the team had me doing was a lot, but it was always good work. And week by week, I could just feel the progression. So when I say extreme, like we put a lot of work in.
Hey, Zion, Dejounte talked about the joy that you play with tonight. Can you kind of talk me through the emotions of what was going on after the dunk? I mean, just kind of what your emotions were like after that dunk.
Have fun. Like I said, previous question, me and Dejounte talk a lot about it. And, before the game, me and him had a talk. He said, man, just go out there, have fun. And, we're going to help you find your rhythm, but have fun and compete. So, in those moments, when the moment presented itself, celebrate, just have fun, just be grateful for, what's going on.
And it's a non-basketball question, but I know you made the donation last week to the tragedy on Bourbon Street. Just kind of, why was that important for you?
Not gonna go too much into detail about it, but I will say, if you can, anybody that's watching this, if y'all can help, if y'all can help in any way, whether it's y'all time, $1, anything, if you can help in any way, help. And I'm gonna leave it at, as far as the families and people who suffered losses from it, I send my condolences, and the city's with y'all.
Do you think that you and Dejounte, I mean, being your first game, obviously together on the floor, where do you think kind of your chemistry is at? Do you guys think that you're ahead of schedule from a chemistry aspect? Because from the eye test, it looked that way.
Sorry. Our chemistry is there. Now it's just those X's and O's. I think sometimes me and him get too excited, and I feel like we just execute the X's and O's. We'll be all right.
The first dunk where you did the 360, in the context, coming off rehab and not having played for a long time, maybe it was easy for you, but it seems like a difficult, decision to go to the hoop quite that way, coming off a hamstring pull. How did you feel going into that dunk and after it?
Like I said, I attacked this rehab very aggressively. It was intense workouts. So once I got out on the court, that dunk was another day in office.
And do you have a sense yet as to whether you're ready to play on consecutive nights yet with the game tomorrow?
I got to talk to the team about that and go from there.
Was there a sense of validation that you put the work in and now you're back in midseason? A previous soft tissue injuries for you, like kind of taking you off for the rest of the season, you haven't been able to come back. Was there a sense of like, man, like I'm back?
Control the things I can control and accept the things I can't. As far as the validation, all I can do is come in every day, put the work in, and just be there for my teammates.
And like prior to you going out for an extended period of time, seemed like some stuff going on both legs, and did the time off allow you to kind of address any like lingering issues going on?
What was going on with my other leg? Can't remember.
There was like a right quad and then my left hamstring, I think.
It was something, I want to say, in the hamstring on the other opposite leg, but that one was a quick 2 to 3 day of like rehab, and that was gone. Damn, forgot about that. But so that wasn't something I even had to worry about. But like I said, I attacked the rehab aggressively, intense, being there for my teammates, and I just got to have fun, bring joy back to the game.
And you talked earlier in the year about, different body type dealing with that hamstring injury, over multiple years, how you got to attack it differently. Were there ways you kind of addressed it in new ways or different ways during this process? And, during the game, we noticed that you were on the side stretching when you were on the bench. Is that kind of a part of the process, doing things differently now to address that particular issue?
I'll let y'all imagination run with that one. I'll leave that one up to y'all. All I can say is I attacked rehab aggressively, and it was intense.
Z, what was it like playing with Dejounte finally? Specifically, speak to that third quarter where you guys took turns stealing the ball, having fun out in transition.
I spoke briefly on it last year. When you talking about Jose, Dyson, Najee, like when you see somebody picking up full court like that and applying ball pressure, as a competitor, I don't see what else he can do other than make you want to compete even harder on the defensive end. So, me and him talk about it a lot. He got a lot of wisdom, especially on defense. So I try to nitpick his mind on it. And, he's been a good leader for this team. Even when I was rehabbing, he was somebody that was always checking in, not even about basketball, just about life. So I got to commend him on that.
Can you share any of the advice? Because you keep mentioning how much you've talked with him.
What are we doing?
Quite a bit.
How long has it been? I'm sorry. Hey, you ask your question. Go ahead. Yeah, I cut you off. No, I apologize.
I was just asking, but you mentioned quite a bit tonight that you've talked with Dejounte a lot. Can you share some of that insight, some of that advice he's given to you, and maybe specifically, were you guys preparing just for even this game? Did you guys talk ahead about what you were trying to do tonight, what you want to see from each other?
We talked briefly about it. I would kind of keep him in a loop about like where I was eyeing, where the team was eyeing for my comeback. But like I said, that's a solid dude, man. Like I said, a lot of the conversations we had, about 10% of it was about basketball. 90% of it was life. He'd always check in. That's why I said I got to commend him on that. Like, that's a solid dude.
I just want to ask you about the mental preparation. Like, as we talked about, typically when you've gone injured, it's been at the end of a season or took you out for an extended period of time. But now you get to come back, and there's still a lot of games left on the schedule. What did you watch and learn about the mental side of the game? And then just defensively, you had the steals, but just the activity, your block shots, you're attacking in a lot of different ways, your movement on defense. Was that something also that while you were off, you said, I want to be more impactful on that end of the floor as well?
Absolutely. That was the goal even before the injury. But, when you're on the sideline, you got a lot of time to kind of just sit there and watch the game. Not just our games, but other teams' games in the league. And, you kind of take things from different players and try to add it to your game. Like watching Herb's movement on defense, whether he's on the ball or off the ball. Same for Jose, and even Eve. Like, I feel like I can take a lot from a lot of players and just kind of add it to my game. No problem. You guys have a great night. Appreciate it.